Meet Dr. Marissa Scavuzzo, assistant professor at Case Western Reserve University School of Medicine, whose research is revealing secrets about a complex nervous system most people don't even know they have.
We're interested in a nervous system that's inside of your gut, sometimes called the second brain. If you take the mouse intestine out and stick it in a dish, it moves around on its own for several days because it doesn't need the brain. There's a nervous system in there that control how we digest our food.
Dr. Scavuzzo's path was anything but straightforward. Like many young people, her early career aspirations were shaped by her family's expectations.
My dad was a first-generation college student, and my mom didn't go to college. They thought being a medical doctor was the epitome of success. I always was interested in medicine, but I was drawn to the creative part of it, like the ability to think about new ideas and test them.
Despite her interest in medicine, Dr. Scavuzzo had no exposure to research science as a potential career. It wasn't until a chance opportunity in college that she discovered her true calling.
I didn't know this job even existed. It wasn't until I went to college, still trying to maybe be a medical doctor. Somebody asked if I wanted to work in a research lab. When I got into the lab and I realized how much you get to follow and test ideas, I got instantly hooked and I knew this is what I had to do. But it took me a long time. I didn't do this until late in college. I was just about to graduate. I had no idea how to continue in this career. So I ended up taking a few years off to work in a research lab, which is actually a really good thing to do. You could get paid and get more experience.
Dr. Scavuzzo's experience challenges common perceptions about who becomes a scientist and what paths they take.
I was always drawn to the outdoors and nature, but I didn't even like science in high school. The way you're taught science in school, it's really important and the foundation for everything you're going to do, but it's so different than actually doing science. You're told this is an experiment, this is how to do it, and you should do it this way, and if you don't get this result, you get a bad grade. But doing science professionally, you almost always make mistakes, things fail because you're doing things nobody's done before, you're trying new things. It's a lot more hands-on, a lot more creative.
Like many successful scientists, Dr. Scavuzzo draws inspiration from her upbringing, combining different influences to shape her approach to research.
I was fortunate to have parents that were supportive of me and just looked up to them and still do a lot. My dad always worked really hard, so I think I've learned how to work hard and I get that work ethic from him. And my mom's a lot more creative.
Beyond family influence, Dr. Scavuzzo emphasizes how critical mentorship has been in her development as a scientist.
I think growing up, I was always afraid of that because I always thought, oh, I'm a burden. I don't want somebody to spend their time on me. And I tried to always not be a bother. And I think especially young women will think this a lot too, that it's a habit you have to break. But once I got older, and especially now as a mentor, I realized people want to do this. They want to mentor you. And if you just reach out to people and ask for help, they love that. I live for that. Even mentors have mentors. It's just a never ending thing. And everybody can always learn from each other. And something that I really like is this idea of mentoring in all directions. So I actually learn a lot from high school students and undergrads. It just never ends.
This willingness to both seek and provide mentorship reflects a collaborative spirit that contradicts stereotypes about scientists working in isolation.
I had a lot of difficulty getting into graduate school. I came from a different background than a lot of people, but I think that actually ended up being an advantage because I always had this chip on my shoulder of having to feel like I needed to prove myself, and I worked harder because of it. And I was told when I got my PhD that after I graduated that they didn't want to even let me in the program, and that's one person advocated for me to get into the program, and then I ended up giving the commencement speech.
This remarkable turnaround from nearly rejected applicant to commencement speaker illustrates a key insight about diversity in science that Dr. Scavuzzo passionately advocates for.
There's this weird dynamic of sometimes people who come from a place or have to overcome barriers or have struggles, they come out stronger. I always thought being a scientist, you had to be Albert Einstein in a dark room by himself, this old white guy with a lab coat and a chalkboard, but it's very different. We need people that look at questions differently, who have different experiences in their life, that come from different backgrounds. We need people who are looking at things in all these different ways. So even if you don't think I couldn't do that, I'm not good at math. That's why we have calculators. If you feel like you're different and you think differently than other people, then science is absolutely for you.